Good morning, Rosie the Riveter herself.
Hello.
Hello, Lillian Bustle.
Hi, Jen Ponton. How are you?
I am delighted to be with you this morning.
Oh, my goodness. Fantastic. You look adorable.
Thanks. I bleached my hair more accidentally than I ever have before.
Oopsie daisy.
Little tiny bit of an oopsie daisy. I've really been able to skate by because, like, my beloved hairstylist, who I adore so much, is like up in fucking Lake Hopatcong, right? So she's where I used to live, and I've been like, I can make it work, but no. Is the short answer to that.
That's how I was in the two videos ago you posted just before I got my hair cut, and I was like, oh, who was I fooling?
Yeah.
It was so frizzy.
She does the most incredible, beautiful, nuanced, like fucking Italian pinch hands. Fisting pinch hands. She does the most beautiful, gentle, like, highlights, baby lights on me. It's artisanal. And then I get in there maybe once a year and I'm like, boop, boop, blap, blap. And I'm like, this is fine. I mean, but then 2 nights ago I was like, uh-oh.
Blap is exactly what it is. You're like, this is fine. I got it. Blap.
And then I was like, oh, I look like Madonna. And I'm going to have to throw some pink in here because the jig is fucking up, dude.
Amazing. The jig is up. My camera just bopped out for a second.
It did.
And I didn't touch it. It just stopped. And so then when I touched it and I said, what's going on? The camera off button was tapped. But you saw me.
Yes.
All hands were on deck.
I see you. It's the work of a poltergeist.
Yeah, that wouldn't surprise me. That's such a funny idea of like a modern day poltergeist who like is learning technology along with us. Where they're like, I don't know, this person yells at this little box all the time. Maybe I'll fuck with that. They look at it and they're like, this doesn't do anything. And then they're like, boop, boop, boop. And then we start screaming and they're like, ooh, I haunted so good. I did such a good one.
But instead, we just shriek and drop it. And then it loses the battery power required to like be powered by ectoplasm.
Exactly. Boy, oh boy. Powered by ectoplasm.
Fuck buddies, welcome to all the fucks.
Welcome to all the fucks.
If you know you're a fuck buddy, you know what we're all about here. But in the event that you have never heard this podcast, I'm Jen Ponton.
I'm Lillian Bustle.
And we love to tell you stories of mortification, pining, intrigue, horrors.
Extreme frustration, righteous indignation.
And working at Busch Gardens in the 90s.
Always bangers in the pocket for that. I have to say, I am a lot of who I am because of those 2 summers that I worked at that theme park. And I would be willing to bet that a lot of people that like your first 2 summer jobs, whoever you are, like shaped a lot of who you are now. It's such a time and like...
Oh, I believe it.
I do miss thinking that anything was possible.
Oh.
It's fine. Anything still is possible, but in a very different way. This podcast is about when your heart feels like the 28th Street stop on the 1 train last night. When it was just flooded with rushing water as though you were going whitewater rafting.
Oh, no. Holy shit. That video came right into my algorithm
You know,
this
and the
morning.
scariest
I'll
ones for me are when the two scariest ones when people are on the train and the water starts coming in, but more so when people are on a bus. Because that train's going to move, right? That train is definitely going to move. And even if you go through like more flooding waters, it's definitely, the train tracks go like up and down. You're going to get out of it eventually. And the tracks are, you know, they don't love moisture, I'm sure, but they get through it. Buses at a certain point are merely cars and they will die. They'll die at some point. And you might just float off in a boat with like people you don't want to die with.
Oh no. Like 50 people you don't want to die.
Oh, not on a bus. You do,
and it's
you
showtime.
do have that advantage. No, people don't fuck around on a bus because
Can you imagine?
That is a self-cleaning oven. If anyone fucks around on a bus, someone will shove them off of it. I'm not kidding at all. I've seen it happen. Like the bus driver suffers zero fools. But other people, if like you're all the way in the back and you're causing shit, people will just push you off the bus.
I have only taken an MTA bus maybe 2 times, and it was accompanied by one of my like older boomer friends who's lived in the city for like 40 years. Because they were like, let's get on a bus. And I'm like,
what?
What? I don't understand these buses. Like, hold me, put me on a child leash, and tell me when to get off and how to do it. So my exposure to the MTA buses is pretty much
buses are the easiest thing, and I love them in the summer because they don't smell as bad. You don't have to go, you might have to like wait outside and get sweaty, but you don't have to go down into the guts and get sweaty. Also, they seem to be connecting with the apps a lot better about where they actually are than the trains do. The trains are pretty good if they show the little blinky then the GPS is working, but sometimes you'll see it's like 1 minute for the F train, and then suddenly the F train is an express train and it's on the D line, and it's basically flipping off as it goes by. Buses rarely ever do that. Also, a city bus is like, it goes so slow that the margin of error is easy to deal with because it's just like you walking, but a little faster. You can see out the window to where you are. And if you overshoot by a block, it's not the end of the world. And what's really funny, I saw that Zoran Mamdani was running on like a free bus was part of his platform. Girl, I've been taking the crosstown bus to get to my School of Visual Arts stuff on the other side of town for years. So
I was thinking,
here's the thing. I have taken the free student bus, but then I realized that now that there's the long bus where you can either get in the front, you can get in the middle, or you can get on in the back. If you get on in the middle or the back, there's a thing you're supposed to tap your phone or whatever to. Guess who doesn't give a shit if you're doing that? The bus driver. Girl, every crosstown bus in the city is already a free bus. I did get busted exactly one time, and that was before they put those little tap things on. You used to buy a ticket. This is very boring. I'm sorry, you guys. You used to buy...
I don't know. I'm learning.
It is.
This is the electric company to me.
Next, we'll show you how beer is bottled. Because why was that on every child's show that we ever saw? You would buy a ticket outside the bus, and then you would show it to the bus driver. And the reason why they did it like that was because every so often you would have a bunch of cops at a stop, and anyone who got off the bus there, they would make you show the prepaid ticket. And I didn't have one, and they were like, well, it's fine. If you bought it, you can just, here's your doodah. You can send us the receipt with the timestamp, like your credit card, just a screenshot of your credit card saying that you bought it at a certain time. And I was like, oh, man. So I paid $100 for that ticket. But I will say, now I feel like it entitles me to free bus rides for the rest of my life. So And I don't know how, I don't know, I've never seen them
Hell
try to
yes.
bust anybody now,
Hell
because how do you
yes.
do it? How would you couldn't prove that you didn't tap. Anyway.
Right. Yes. Yep. I too wonder how they're policing stuff that's like with the phones. I mean, thankfully mine has not gone garbledy on me in the middle of stuff, but like in however many years it's been since I last bought an NJ Transit ticket at a ticket machine, it's all become just like, here it is, here's the QR code. And so, like, what if something goes wrong? They used to fucking hound you. If you didn't have your physical ticket, they would, like, wait there for you to give them cash that you didn't have.
Yeah.
Because you weren't carrying, like, it's not like they can scan a card, which is also crazy.
Are you talking about getting on the bus at Port Authority?
I don't know. It's, I'm specifically talking about getting on NJ Transit trains.
Well, everything's done basically through an app now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Exactly. So if somebody's, so like, how easy would it be?
Or your phone to die.
For either something to malfunction or for you to be a dick. Yep, your phone to die, totally. Yeah. But like, do they still kind of shake you down and like...
I haven't seen anyone thrown off the train lately for not having a ticket. But they also don't carry around those real sexy quarter machines that they used to have on their hip. Wow. That was hot. I have to say, I don't really care much about a uniform, but specifically
those little dispensers.
NJ Transit train ladies with the little, like, the little hat. Of course they are.
They're always queer, dude. They're always queer. I had an astoundingly arresting stud conductor a few weeks ago, and I was like,
Delightful.
I mean, just
delightful. I've started, every time I see an older lady who's visibly gay, if I feel like it's appropriate, I don't want anybody to feel like harassed at their job, but I will occasionally be like, you're doing a fantastic job, thank you. Like, I'm just like, adore you, thanks for being out here. And I have the switch set on for, it's either Lyft or Uber, where you can specifically request female drivers, which I've told you before. I don't know how they, if that's an issue with men specifically requesting, or if like I don't know that you can prove to Uber or Lyft that you're a woman. I don't know how it works, but it's been working okay for me. And the women drivers that I've talked to haven't had any complaints about that specific thing.
They certainly have a copy of the driver's license. That's for sure. So they probably go on the driver's side. They probably go as per whatever your license says.
That's the part. Yeah.
And then for riders, I guess you could be some. Yeah. They could always turn the ride down, though, right?
Seriously doubt that you can look at someone's profile and decide not to take the ride, right? I don't think you can do that. That sounds like you would have profiling all over the place.
I guess so.
But I always thank female drivers. I'm just like, thank you for driving today. I always feel safer with a woman behind the wheel. And now I can actually feel like I can have a conversation with you. Whereas before I like fold myself up into my little turtle shell and I grunt until they stop asking me questions.
I don't remember what led to this conversation, but I had a conversation with Jory very recently that was like, that bowled me over with its shock value and its beauty. And like, it was about men, because I am really on guard. I don't talk to men unless I know them. I'm really on guard around strange men. I do not seek to talk to them, and I try and turn off my Care Bear face, as unsuccessful as that might be, which it is wildly unsuccessful.
Right.
But I try. And Jory gets broed by dudes as a mask person. Jory does not get hit on. Jory gets folded in as one of the bros.
You're one of us. Yeah.
Yes, which on the scale of what could happen for a trans mask person, like, I love that.
Yeah. Yeah.
I would prefer that over anything else. But Jory doesn't get like the creepiness. And I feel like almost any time a strange man talks to me, it gets creepy.
Mm-hmm.
Almost, like, even if it doesn't start that way.
Sure.
Yeah. And so I try and shut it down or leave the door shut and just go on with my life. And I was telling Jory something about this, like, oh, this is why I don't talk to men or whatever. And Jory was like, oh, but you should approach them with the openness that you give to women and other people. You want to give them the chance to surprise you. Like, almost like a self-fulfilling prophecy. Like, maybe men are being creepy because you're holding the expectation that they're going to be like, and
sure.
I was like, this is simultaneously the most maddening and beautiful thing that you could have said, because I too want to live in a world where I hold space for you to be your fucking best self, and then you do it.
But your brain teaches you. We are constantly being taught by other people what to expect and how to treat them. And, this may be problematic, but some stereotypes are stereotypes for a reason. And if I feel like you and I are generous of spirit, and that we don't go into every single situation being like, this dum-dum is going to say something that's going to make me want to dick punch, right? Probably not. Probably not. I hope against hope. It's like they say in auditions. What is it? The Mike Nichols thing, where like every audition that you walk into, everyone behind the table is rooting for you. No one is against you. Everyone wants you to succeed. Everyone there is hoping, like, they're like, oh, please let this be the one.
Please
so that we
solve
can just
our problem.
Go home. I can eat my bagel in peace. And that's what I always hope. I'm like, oh, as a matter of fact, sometimes I will even say at like a Home Depot or something, I'm like, oh, thank goodness, you're the only one who can help me.
Oh my God, that's so brilliant.
Thank you. Oh, thank goodness you're here. It's you. You're the one. You're the only one who can help me. Now, and I will say that because I expect that not much good can come of my interaction with a straight dude I've never met, I do get weird. But that's my way of trying to spin it to a positive, right? That's my only way. I can't just be like, hi, normal person. I have a normal question. Because then they're like, well, what do you mean light bulb?
Yeah.
When someone talks to me like I'm asking for something that has never existed on the planet, when I know that it is like 50 feet away from me in any direction. Fucking hell, I had to explain to somebody at Dunkin' Donuts how to make my favorite drink the other day.
No.
I showed it to them on the app. I said, here's what's in it.
No.
And they were like, do you want the frozen thing? And I was like, nah, dog. I want this thing that is offered on your goddamn menu. But I didn't say that. I said, hey, let me do something that's going to make this real quick for both of us. Like, the amount of... No, I refuse. This feels like to me, and please, with all due respect to Jory, this feels like to me when April's boyfriend told me that I should get into sports so that I could meet boys. No, there's no one else on that team that's meeting me halfway.
Absolutely correct.
They're just not. And I am doing more than my share of work. This is more like, what is it called? The third shift. Yeah, I go out of my way to be generous. Even when I told you, did I tell the story on the podcast about how I had an air conditioning repairman in my home who he was being like, well, we can't figure it out. And I was like, well, it was just dripping. So the other people came and saw it dripping. We turned off the air conditioning unit for a couple of days. We just turned it back on. now you're here and there's no dripping, but I can show you a video of it. Like, so maybe you can diagnose it from like the other evidence. And he was like, well, now this, I think he said like, this is hearsay or something insane. He was like, we can't fix a problem that we can't see. And I said, while I understand that, I always have to take such a deep breath, and I'm like, talk to them very simply, but don't condescend. Like, I'm doing so many things, and who knows what is my female experience, who knows what's my queer experience, who knows what's my fat experience, who knows what's my neurodivergent experience. Like, talk about intersectionality. Yes. Every time I deal with a repairman, it's always a man. I would love to hire a woman. I'm trying to not, I'm masking. Every moment of an interaction. And for sure. I said, well, at least let me take you out and show you the compressor, the condenser. I forget what it's called. Condenser, I think. And you can tell me, I think that might need to be cleaned. That might be part of the problem. And he was like, well, why would you think it's dirty? And I was like, well, people in the past have told us that we need to have it cleaned as routine maintenance. That's something you guys do, right? And he was like, yeah, but not a call like this. And I was like, well, what's a call like this? And he was like, well, we're just trying to see what's wrong. And I was like, are you telling me that if you had found something that was wrong, you wouldn't fix it? They were rushing off to another thing, clearly. Oh my God. And the other guy was like super quiet. This guy also didn't help that he had like a very, very thick Eastern European accent.
Oh no. There's that neurodivergent mask.
And I was just like, wow. So I was willing to give him the benefit of the doubt that like maybe he just sounded like a dick because of his accent. I said, let me take you outside to look at the compressor. And he was like, well, you'll still have to call in for a call. I said, I just want you to take a look at it. You haven't finished looking at there's something's wrong and you haven't looked at one of the things. Let me take you outside. I probably was like this, right? This like slightly higher, slightly frustrated. Like, you haven't done the job that I hired you for. Can you please just finish that before you run away?
Yeah, I wouldn't have called your company if I knew you were just going to come look.
So, you've been in my house. There are visible stairs to the roof. So I guess it is possible that one would think that there might be a door you could get to the roof from the inside of my house. There is not. Yeah, right. We don't even need to go to the roof. We need to go outside and downstairs. This man is standing. Thank God Don was there too, because he was standing in my doorway, and I fucking hate that. Come in, go out. Don't stand in my doorway. I hate it so much. He turns around and picks up this giant box of recycling. Our recycling does build up because I have to go out my front door, down 2 flights of stairs, down out a heavy door, out a second heavy door, put something down, unlock a gate, and then go down a narrow alley.
Right. Fair.
He turns around and picks up my giant box of recycling. And I said, I'm sorry, what are you doing? And he said, you said we need to go outside. And I was like, there's no door there. Dude. And he turns around and looks and he goes, well, you said outside. I said, do you remember how you came in? And that was my mistake. Because then I was like, let's fucking go. You know? I'm so sorry. Do you remember how you came in? We're going to have to go back out that way. And then I have to take you down the alley. And then he wanted to stand and argue with me in the alley by the trash. And I was just like, we're done. We're done. Please email me the invoice.
What the fuck did he say to you, cornering you in a narrow alley?
Oh, I was like, well, now we know this is dirty. Can you guys clean it? And he was like, no, that's not what this call is. And I was like,
Jesus Christ.
The call was something's wrong. Can you fix it?
Yeah.
You should have told me no and then left, and then it should have been free. But anyway, we found somebody else who's not an absolute stinkpot.
Oh, good on ya.
And I have to say, multiple lovely conversations with 2 people at this other plumber. So,
okay.
Thank goodness, because I was in a state for like 24 hours after after he picked up the box in my house and then like wouldn't turn around and just go back down the alley so that we could have a conversation, not in an alley by the trash. Sorry, that was a really long story. Thank you, fuck buddies, for listening. My point is, no. I'll even put a no thank you on it. No thank you. I prefer not to try that hard.
No,
I will take what I am given. I will still feel like I deserved better.
Mm-hmm.
And I thanked the other company so much. I said, listen, I'm not going to tell you, go into what happened.
Thank
but
God
I need
you're
you
here.
Yeah, exactly. Thank God you're here. Help me, Obi-Wan Kenobi. You are my only hope. Thank goodness it's you.
Oh my God. I mean, same kettle here. I have a contracting company that comes around every once in a while. And different individuals from this company have come before. I don't have like one assigned person, but finally I was sometime in the last year and a half ago, I was assigned a person who became the regular person. And the first time he ever came, he was pretty affable and sort of like, let me show you the tips and tricks. And
cute.
He kind of looks like a grizzled, who is it? Who is the Midwestern guy in Fargo? William H. Macy. William H. Macy, yes. He looks like a grizzled William H. Macy.
Adorable.
And, yeah, and I was like,
I will say that most of my experiences with men who also kind of look like a Shar-Pei are positive.
Yes. And this is why I was feeling positive about it. So our first interaction was great. And I was like, thanks, contractor dad. Yeah, I will take that to heart. Aw, tip, knock, knock, wink, wink. And like, and he was like, I'll see you around, kid. Next time he comes, he's creepy and dour.
No, he called you kid.
I know. Less creepy, like not sexually creepy with me,
sure.
Thank God. Like that like I would have called the company and been like, absolutely the fuck not. But like dour, like my fucking wife. And I'm like, I liked fun dad energy, thanks. I even liked maybe drinking on the job dad energy. But this is weird. And like from then on out, I'd be like, hey, what's up, contractor dad? Just like opening the door for the possibility. And he's like, bah. And I'm like, okay, guess this is going to be another weird one. Like,
great.
Come on.
I guess this is going to be another weird one.
Yeah. So, in the spirit of Jory's, I'm glad. You know what? I'm glad Jory has better experiences with men than I do.
Yes, I know tons of trans people on every part of the spectrum who, once they started presenting differently, were like, oh my God, whether
right?
it was female to male or male to female. I have heard multiple comments specifically from trans women who are like, oh, you gals, I'm so sorry that it's been like this.
This is what I've been avoiding my whole life, and now...
Well, no, like was just unaware of. Was like, oh, I've heard it's bad, but it can't be that bad. And all of a sudden they're like, oh my God.
It's so bad.
But also people who start presenting more masculinely. I believe their tag is just Flint is fine. A trans mask, I believe, goes by he, him, but it's been a while. Who quit his teaching job because he was just tired of the harassment. Like, was by all accounts a fabulous teacher who some of the students like watched his presentation change a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
And I believe was identifying as non-binary when he left his job, which I will say I think that's the hardest thing for a lot of people to wrap their heads around. They're like, gay, straight, bisexual, crazy. Like, I get this, I get this. I get being a man, I get being a woman, I get liking men, I get liking women, but all of this stuff in the middle, how am I supposed to deal with that? As if the world did not contain multitudes already. Like, but yeah, he's definitely talked about that, about like how he's treated so differently now that he is perceived as a guy. Another friend who's a trans man who is not out at work has to choose every day. He's in construction and has to choose every day about if he's going to bother saying anything to all of the misogynist shit that people say around him, assuming that he's one of the guys that wants to say nasty shit. And just like, you know, I'm sure that you've had a situation where a white person was like, you're white, let's be racist together for a second, right?
Totally.
And you're like, oh no,
Totally.
you got me wrong. But yeah, just like a constant reminder of how his now wife has to move through the world, but has to choose whether or not he, you know, gives up his safety at work. Like, he's like, this isn't my job's hard enough without doing this other job, and how much are they going to listen to me anyway? And
right. Yeah, that is a fucking pinch, dude.
Mm-hmm.
That is difficult. I heard Jory told me once, I asked them, I was like, you know, if these are the benefits about being around men when you're trans masked, like what feels like danger? And Jory was like, when they actually think that you are a cis man.
Oh, yeah.
Because if they think you are a cis man and then learn through any number of ways that that's not true.
Yeah.
I mean, it's horrifying, but just like the shame rage that cis men feel when they sleep with trans women, and then the violence that ensues, the same like, oh, you fooled me, I thought you were a bro. And that's where that violence comes from. Like, I mean, it's horrifying.
Because they can't just have learned something about
you.
You have to have been tricking them in some way.
Yes. And it's like, fuck you for tricking me if you are a trans mask person.
Right.
And fuck you for allowing me to be attracted to you if you're a trans. Like, it's just.
Yeah, that is
so
terrible.
Horrifying. So hard. We can't just learn something. It can't just be the electric company be like, oh, how great that I could feel this brotherhood with somebody who was once a girl. Like, it's just like, wouldn't that be a beautiful lesson to take home?
There are people like that out there.
I'm gorgeous. Sexuality's a spectrum. Fucking A. Like, could we just? I want to live in that world, Lillian.
Oh,
I want to live in that Bayonne.
God. I was talking to somebody who was bisexual, and they were like, yeah, I live in Bayonne. And I was like, oh, no. What's that like? And again, hashtag not all Bayonne or whatever. But I think I told you, I don't know if I've been keeping up the count on the podcast, but I now have technically 23 friends who have been physically assaulted in the city. I will say that from how I have heard the stories, I believe over half of them to be, they were all 24 strangers. At least half hate motivated in some way, whether it was racist or anti-queerness. And it's 24 incidents because my friend was like, oh, that's happened to me twice.
No.
No. So that's fun.
And this is just New York, right? It's
just New York,
like,
and just since COVID. So like since 2021. And all of it didn't start bubbling up till 2022 because people weren't even really out.
Right.
I mean, maybe in the summer, but regardless. Que lástima. Not great.
Yeah.
I'm sure I have talked about my mushroom-shaped stun gun on here.
Yes, you have.
which I've been carrying
How's
with me.
she
I need
working
to
out for
remember.
you?
I like having it. I haven't had to use it, and I hope I never do. But having it with me and having something in my hand I like that. So I'll put like my headphones in and pretend like I'm talking to somebody, and then
Yes.
I'll have the stun gun in my hand.
Yes. Good on you. Mm-hmm.
Um, Here we are. I
Yeah.
just I just shared on my stories earlier today. It was a girl who was like getting dressed up to go out, and I the caption was something along the lines of trying to remember that the price of community is inconvenience. Like, I'm getting ready
Yes,
to go
yes,
out
yes,
and
yes.
I don't want to go out, but I have to inconvenience myself because I need people in my life.
Yes. And I've heard similarly, especially from uh like female black activists,
Hmm.
when they're like, sorry, you have to white people, if you want the power of community, you have to be okay with being annoyed. Because in any community setting, as we can remember from the
Hmm.
days of yore when we couldn't just choose where we put ourselves, um, in any community setting, people are going to be annoying. They're going to people. They're going to be foolish or late or rude or clumsy, or they're not going to get it perfect. And
Hmm.
like, that has to be okay. We have
Hmm.
to be okay with being annoyed with people, because if we're going to rely on each other and build together, like, that's simply the price.
I know.
You don't get to silo yourself and only have the input of, like, 5 people who you are down with all the time.
Sure.
um which
Yeah,
is
because then that's just
unfortunate.
a click.
Yeah, yes. But you know what's kind of crazy? I feel like we got this far into this siloing culture because so many self-proclaimed gurus were like, ditch all the people who make you feel anything bad anytime and
Oh,
only
sure.
focus on 5 good people who make you want to be your best self. And like,
And then sell them my essential oils.
yes. Yes, 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 yes. Oh my God.
I understand that, and I do try really hard, but my problem is the way. Yes, the answer is yes. We should always, yes. When my neurospicy bumps up against other neurospicy, so now we know that I have a sensory processing disorder. Like, there's no official diagnosis, but if I can't hear what's happening, and I just had a hearing test and they said your hearing's almost perfect, that's what it is. I'm not having trouble auditorily. There's nothing wrong with my
Oh,
body. Oh yeah, I don't know. Maybe I didn't talk to you about this.
I
Yeah,
don't think you
I
did.
they do two types of testing when you go in for a hearing test. One is I got in a booth and then this lady said words and I was supposed to repeat them back. And they got softer and softer, or sometimes they started soft and they got louder. And then there were beeps. And then I would raise my hand if I heard a beep. So I would either repeat what she said
Mm.
or I would raise my hand for a beep. And out of all of these prompts, we were in there for like, I don't know, 15 or 20 minutes. Out of all of these prompts, I only missed two. And they were, one was a word one and one was a beep one. And they were both on the very softest end of anything. So I'm not like in danger of anything degenerative with my, at least
Right.
not right now. It's
Mm-hmm.
very normal, almost perfect. But imagine not being able to see well and someone telling you that your vision is almost perfect. That
Real.
sucks. Uh, so, I try when I'm with people, I try to just say, well, I'm not going to explain it all the time now. I'm just going to be like, hey, I don't hear well. I definitely can't hear sideways. I really need to see you when you're talking. And I need for us to talk in a quiet place. Um,
Because your brain has trouble sifting.
yes, it takes in everything and it's all bouncing around. I can pay too much attention is the problem.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
for me to actually hear what you say, if there's a TV on over here, especially if it's something that I don't want to be listening to, and then there's like music on or someone's watching their phone with the headphones off.
Oh, I hate it. I hate it. I hate it. Do that alone at home. Don't do it on the train or the street or in a restaurant.
Babies get a pass. I understand that there's people whose children need a tablet. I get it. I'll give that a pass. But if you're a grown ass man, especially if you're FaceTiming,
Oh my God.
I do all my self-care things. I try to have water with me at all times. I had earplugs. I lost one of them. I need to get a new set. I have my headphones. Like I'm doing everything except for sucking my fucking thumb. You know what I mean? Like,
Yes.
And if I can still hear all of your bullshit while I'm trying to not go insane, then I do go insane. And if we are in a community setting and people can't follow just like really basic social norms, like two people are asking me questions at the same time and I know they can see each other. When I was a supervisor at Lush, that happened all the time with workers. And I would go, "Hi, 2 ears, 1 brain."
Yep.
I had to here's what I want to do is I want to put my hand up and say, "Stop, don't do that right now," but then you're putting your hand in someone's face, right? So I will say, "You please hang on." I'll put my hand out, open palm.
Oh my God.
Gesturing to one person, "You please." Do you see how much effort?
So much masking. Oh, honey, I do.
So when people are just like,
do.
you have to be okay with being annoyed. I understand it on a certain level because there are Karens with hair triggers that won't give anyone any latitude. And it is from a very intersectional, privileged point of view where they're just like, well, everything goes right for me when I follow the rules, so you shall follow the rules. Like, fuck that, obviously. But painting everybody with the same brush is not fair.
Very valid.
Because people like me, I mean, I just don't go out sometimes now. Like,
sure. Yes.
So the price of community for me cannot be, well, I guess you'll just feel like you have a hemorrhoid all day, but in your heart.
No. And I think it's more about grading personalities than anything else. Like I admit I have my own little petting the cat backwards with a certain kind of personality and a very sweet personality. I can't help that every sense in my body is like, oh, I want to get away from you.
Yeah.
I can't help it. And like, I judge myself for it so hard because I'm like, look at this nice person who's absolutely never harmed anyone, who like means well, who's kind and generous and goes out of their way to XYZ, but something about them sensorially. And I'm like, oh no, you're that kind of person. And now I want to be across the room from you. I'm so judgmental of myself for this. But I take that advice and I'm like, yeah, if you want to build community with nice folks who you know maybe make you feel like you just got dipped in a vat of like glue and feathers on one very like psychologically tactile level.
Yeah, for me it's more like glue and crickets.
No. There are always nice people who I feel this way about. So I feel like
it's really, if somebody is being an asshole, it's very easy to make an argument for getting them out of the community.
Absolutely. Right.
Yeah, if someone is being openly hostile or any number of other things, it might take a while to get them out of the community, but I don't feel bad about making an argument. It is when someone's just like kind in every other way but just fucking insufferable.
Yes. Yep. or like a little bit blind to some kind of social moray that otherwise goes unspoken, and you're like,
that I have let go of. I have to say, I'm gonna go ahead and pat myself on the back, because again, the way my woof is triggered by a number of specific things, and I don't have hardly any. I don't think I have any neurotypical people in my close friend group, like, and I like it that way. I didn't realize that what I thought was boring was just neurotypical. Like, I would have said normal or whatever, but the kind of people that I just can't find a common ground with, or like who I don't think are clever or funny in any way. And this sounds so judgy, but like, I'm talking about the people who I choose to spend time with on a regular basis.
Yes, we all get to create that for ourselves.
Are people who are some kind of spicy. And because of that, I have had to learn to take a deep breath to deal with a handful of behaviors that are not caustic in any way, but which I am just like, oh God, get to the point. Or like whatever the thing is. And if someone's behavior is 75% the kind of person who I can hang out with, and then 25% that other thing.
Still good math.
Then it's fine.
Still totally good. Absolutely, yeah.
And in high school, I was basically an insult comic, I think that I've mentioned in high school. Like, I would try to correct other people's behavior. Like, if they were the 75% and I loved them and we had a good rapport, I would go for the jugular, and I would make fun of someone in front of a group of people in a gentle enough way that I thought they might get the hint. And sometimes it worked great, and other times people either resented the shit out of me or they cried. But
I know this is not a memory you're proud of, but can you tell me a time when it worked really well? When you could tell that it was a motivating and taken in stride and like...
Yes. This was in college. Scarring. This is a perfect example. My friend's boyfriend, who was also a friend of mine, very complicated how all of that got overlaid. But he was very much a, on the like Ren Fair D&D style person of 1997, right? That was a much more niche group of people back then.
Yeah, definitely. Yes.
Very funny. Very, very funny human. Very clever, but also at times just like, goddamn man, everybody can't look at you all the time. Like, stop it. He wanted attention so bad all the time, and he would just do the dumbest shit all the time. And he had come into one of our classes, and he had written something up on the chalkboard and sat down so pleased with himself, literally like hands folded, couldn't wait for the instructor or someone to ask what that was. And when all of that happened and he explained what it was something no one gave a fuck shit about. And it had nothing to do with the class. And it was just like, he woke up this morning and decided he wanted people to look at him. The class went completely quiet. And I said his name very calmly. And I said, I really think you need a hobby. And everybody laughed. And then so maybe 20 minutes later, another thing exactly like that happened. And I said, how about stamps?
Girl, excellently done. Expertly I mean, my God, that's amazing.
And I hate that I did it, though, because he really loved it. And it backfired on me in a big way. But
so did he not stop? Was it just encouraging for him then? Like, did nothing change about his personality?
I mean, I feel like he chilled out a little bit. At least in front of me, but then I think that was because he had a crush on me, but that's a whole other story.
Sure. Well, then he was doing it for you, it sounds like. The performativity.
He didn't know he was going to get that reaction until I did that particular thing.
I know it.
But no, I was I was Triumph the insult comic dog.
Wow. Incredible.
And
You
I
don't
did
have
get
to tell
clout.
me about the times it didn't go well. I feel like those you may have chronicled in our like oopsie daisy. I hurt a person and I'll never be the same.
There's that. There's also a couple times that it came back to bite me in the ass where people were like, "You're a real piece of shit."
Ooh.
Yeah, I'm better about it now, but I used to. You've been in a room with me where I'm like, I gotta say it. I gotta say it. I gotta say it. Just like your moment in your play where you're like, oh, here it comes. Oh no, it's so funny. I have to. Oh, here it comes. Oh, fuck. Almost always worth it. Almost always.
Definitely.
When it's that. But I don't.
That undeniable. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But because I had such a thick skin, I couldn't perceive other people not being able to take criticism the way I had learned to take criticism.
Sure.
And in my head, I'm sure it was like, well, this is good for you. Because if you're this much of a mess, you're going to need this in the future. But I do not consider myself a malicious person. Like,
no. Definitely.
Unrelated, but kind of related about like curating your own space. Did I talk to you about the Love Island thing the other day?
You texted me about it.
Okay.
Right? About the bar. So please tell us here on the pod, because this was delightful to see roll out in a series of texts.
Yeah. I am rarely out on a Friday night in New York City, first of all. It's too much for me, and I recognize that, and I'm happy to spend my nights out on like a Monday or Tuesday when things are much more chill. But we had tickets to see Patton Oswalt down at the Minetta Lane Theater, which is near McDougal, which is very much like not even NYU. It's like graduate. It's like 20-year-olds with fake IDs, but up to like 26 or 27-year-olds. Like, it's a huge hangout for that.
That's where I was when I was 26.
Oh, absolutely. Places where you still might be able to get a $3 beer. Like, you could go have like a $22 cocktail and see some live music, and then go somewhere and split a pitcher of beer with your friends, and then maybe meet somebody who will buy you a drink. Like, that is exactly what that neighborhood is. Plus, it's tons of comedy clubs. So I don't know why we couldn't just be like,
right.
We had all the ha-has from the professional ha-ha man. Let us go home and drink our drinks at home. I was like, maybe we can get into one of the Comedy Cellar locations because they always have standby tickets.
Do they have more than just that McDougal?
Oh.
Comedy Cellar?
Yeah, I think there's 4. They're not all called
wow.
Comedy Cellar. Yeah. They're called different things. One's Fat Black Pussycat. One is Village Underground or Village Vanguard. I can't remember which. There's 4, I think, and then they have rolling show times. And every so often there will be one that's just like less popular because of timing for when people want to eat versus when they want to go out, blah, blah, blah. But the venue that I wanted to go to because it was less packed, when we went to Comedy Cellar, I had to ask to be moved because Don and I were not going to physically fit in the space that they had gestured us towards. We tried to sit down. I literally had my knees bumping up somebody else's knees, and Don hadn't even sat down yet.
Oh my God.
So I have no qualms about this. I went up to the person who sat us and I said, "Hello, friend." Again, you're the only one who can help me. "Hello, friend. We are far too fat to sit where you sat us." And she said, "No problem." Not like, "Oh
job.
no. Oh, you're
job,
not
girl.
fat." They have a corner. She sat us in a corner where no one else had gotten sat except for another fat couple.
They
And
made
I
a
was
chubby
like,
corner?
They made a chubby corner.
Hell the fuck. Yes, they did.
And it was right by the air conditioning. So it was like win. Delightful.
Chubby champagne room. Chubby box seats. Oh my God, incredible.
So that worked out well because they didn't seat anyone else around us and everyone else was packed in like pickles. But the Fat Black Pussycat is more of a spread out sort of situation from what I
thought
have
that
seen.
was a jazz club. But I'm wrong.
I don't know. It's across from the Blue Note.
Right.
It might. Anyway, I'm pretty sure that's what it's called. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, it is.
One day we can hire a fact checker and researcher for this podcast. Anyway, the line for that was insane, and the person didn't say. I said, is this the ticket line or the walk-in line? And it was, do you have a ticket? And I said no, and he was like, stand by the curb, which, by the way, is now full of people. Standing by the curb means standing in the bike lane now.
Oh, yikes.
Which I don't want to do.
No.
And someone will tell you where to go. And I was like, that seems unlikely. I'm a smart person. Let me figure out where to go. So I found the standby line, confirmed, standby line, standby line, standby line. And it was like halfway down the block. So I was like, no, like maybe let's go listen to some music. Let's do something else. And then somebody successfully busked us. They were like, oh, or that's not right. Barked us. Busking is when you're dancing for money. Busking is when you're trying to get someone to go in somewhere for money. And they were like, there's this comedy place. I think it was called the Comedy Stop, maybe? Comedy Stop. A couple blocks away. And he was like, it's honestly like, you can look these. I can tell you who's on the lineup. You can look them up. They're all people who've performed at the Cellar. Like, you can tell that people ask him the same questions all over. He's like,
nice, okay.
He was like, it's just a newer venue. And it's the same price as all the other comedies. Like, it's this plus a 2-drink minimum or whatever. Mm-hmm. So we took a chance on it. And while we're waiting to go in, we've already paid our money. So now we're like stuck until they let us in. We're outside of this open air bar that has 8 different huge flat screen TVs playing Love Island. So we were stuck there for 20 minutes, just observing things like a la National Geographic. And that bar was packed. It was packed with people who were all having a fabulous time. I have no qualms about everybody in one room enjoying a TV show. Like, I don't care what it is. It's beautiful. Fine. Have a great time. And then there was one TV that was facing the street. And over half of the people coming and going were like, what's it? Oh, Love Island. And then they would either stop to watch or they would go, oh, no spoilers. And they would run right by. But everyone knew what it was immediately. Everyone knew what it was. And some of them were like, ugh, this shit. But most of them were like, ooh.
I love it.
I don't know a single person who watches Love Island. I don't know one. I know what it's about.
I thought you watched a queer season of Love Island. Did you not?
No, I watched Are You the One?
Oh, okay. All right.
Are You the One and Too Hot to Handle are the ones that I like. And then Queer Ultimatum, which is its own thing.
Yes.
Too Hot to Handle is great.
Right. I've never seen Love Island either.
Well, I don't have any. I'm sure it's just as good and bad as the ones that I like. I just don't know anything about it. Same with. And then I was just like, oh, this is straight culture. Like, this is literally.
Definitely.
This is straight culture.
Yes. Totally. Oh my God.
Oh, and then the comedy club was unair conditioned.
Of course it was. Oh, God,
and we didn't get our second drink, but they didn't charge us for it.
Here too.
Yeah,
it has not been pleasant summer. It's been. Ugh.
We really made the best of it, though, which I will say for both me and Dawn. We were like, I think that we can roll with this. I also have multiple little handheld plug-in fans, like rechargeable fans that I take with me everywhere now. So I just put that on the table and we had our own little breeze.
Good on you, boo-boo.
That's why I need such a big bag. I need so many things just to be baseline happy.
I get it. I fucking get it. Yes. I get it. Absolutely. And the moment that I decide to leave home and I'm like, I am free from my vessel of treasures. I'm just going to see where the wind takes me. And then I'm like, I don't have my Tylenol or my Kinesio ball or my gum or my floss or like, I mean, it truly is. It's just agony. Agony.
Chapstick.
My 800 chapsticks,
800
my cuticle
chapsticks.
balm,
I
mean...
I just put some on.
See? Necessary. So necessary. Meanwhile, Jory, who does not carry a purse, of course, as a masked person, I'm like, hey, babe, do you have your rescue inhaler? And they're like, oh, I don't know where it is. I'm like, the thought of not having it constantly on your person. I'm like, oh my God, please. It's terrifying.
Yeah. I also saw a very funny meme earlier of like when your partner refuses to carry a purse. And the one girl just like dumping a handful of whatever the fuck into her girlfriend's purse. And she's like,
that is exactly where Jory's rescue inhaler was. They were like, I think it's in your purse. And I'm like, babe.
Oh, they put it in your purse without telling you?
They did, because over the weekend, speaking of good comedy, we went to go see America's Sweetheart Josh Johnson.
Oh, yeah. How is Josh Johnson?
It was spectacular. He was great.
I love him so much.
I love him so much. It was wonderful. Yeah, we went to go see him in Philly. He was perfect.
Nice.
He was perfect. And we sat next to a black AFAB queer couple, and we're like, hell yeah. Also, gotta say, like, of course, as diverse as his crowds are, which is to say, still a lot of white people, still probably a lot of straight white people. It was the space I've been in with the most white people where I have not been on guard at this point. Because I'm like, I feel like nobody who wears a MAGA hat listens to him, you know? I feel like, I mean, I could be wrong. I probably am wrong because the world is wide. But, like, I feel...
Please talk about that a little bit more, because I know what you mean.
Yeah.
But you are not talking... You're talking about being threatened by other white people.
Yes, exactly. Or not even threatened, but just, like, in the presence of someone who does not hold the same values that I hold, which are really just like baseline humanity.
Yeah.
Like, I believe we should,
which shouldn't be threatening. That shouldn't be to threat level.
Nope.
That shouldn't be to any threat level. It should just be like, oh, you grew up different than me. But now it's like, oh, you probably think that I should die.
Right.
Or shouldn't vote, or should have a million babies.
Absolutely.
Or
100%. So I don't feel in the shadow of imminent violence in the way that someone who is more visibly othered would feel. I would be like, okay, if I shut my mouth, they probably won't know I am who I am. However, I don't want to be around them.
Right.
I absolutely don't want to be around them.
Right.
A, because it's unnerving, and B, because like I get to choose the 5 people that I want to spend all my time with, okay? And that's not their values. So
Jennifer, protect your peace.
Oh my God.
Did I send you I can't believe I'm in a world where I'm telling people about memes, but we've always done that, whether it's been like, here's what happened on Friends last night or whatever.
100%.
It was a clip from a podcast where one of the comedians said, I am pretty sure, it was on Janish Meeting's podcast. I'm pretty sure that the reason why everything is so bad right now is because too many white women have become witches and they don't know what they're doing. Oh. And they have opened up a hellmouth that we cannot close.
Ah, fuck.
And I just thought that was really funny.
That's so great. Oh my God. Wait a second. I didn't know that Jenna had a new podcast.
I think so. If not, she was just on.
Maybe she was guesting.
But
yeah. That's great. I fucking love her.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's probably not wrong. I mean, I would like to think that the white women that I'm witches with all, have very intersectional and well-backed research from...
Sure.
from voices of, like, more indigenous witchy cultures. However, knowing whiteness, as we do. I
understand what you're saying, though. I I get twitchy in a room with too many white people, and it's really interesting to have lived in Jersey City, which, if people don't know, my zip code, I don't know if it's still my zip code, but Jersey City is one of the most literally diverse populations in all of America.
That's so bad.
It has such a mix of people that you couldn't, even in the widest part of downtown, make yourself a little white enclave, even if you tried. And I'm sure people are trying right now. But it is delightful. It's delightful. And of course, there's pockets of, different cultures and different backgrounds that are clustered in different areas. Of course there are. But by and large, like, if I walked into a room in Jersey City that had 30 white people in it, I would go, oh no.
Yeah.
So
because you immediately know what the
is,
fuck that is.
Right. Because even though that's pretty normal in a lot of places. That's normal and not menacing in a lot of places.
Definitely.
It's
right.
Here it's a bad sign. It's like, what happened? At the very least, the person who organized this doesn't have any friends who are people of color.
Yeah.
And then I also don't want to hang out. But I
mean, even my terrible, terrible, terrible nightmare of an ex-boyfriend who was from Jersey City and was very, very white and very, very Polish, found himself in a whole crew of Filipinos, and like
Yay.
rolled so hard with the Filipinos and like fully took on Filipino culture. And they had like taught him Tagalog and everything.
Nice. Very nice.
So if you can be a white violent person and still not figure out how to be diverse in your friend group in Jersey City,
right?
Come on. I did at the show over the weekend. Josh had 2 openers, and the first guy, Mandel, I loved him. He said it was like sandal with an M. He was spectacular, and he must be a baby because he like mentioned at one point that he was in his 20s. And I was like, holy shit, he's gonna be great. I really have very high hopes for him. And he, they always are like, oh, y'all Philly, and then they say some Philly stuff, and he was like, Philly.
John eats some cheesecakes. No, cheesesteaks. God, I fucked that up. I actually don't know how to use John properly, so that's a double blow for me.
Oh, so perfect. Yeah, he was like, Philly is weird because it's the place where you don't meet white people or black people than in Philly. But somehow they're all together, and I was like, damn, that is a perfect read. Yes. Yeah, it was nice being in a very large group of people of however many thousand, where I was like, as white as this is, which was, I don't know, at least 30%, maybe? At least 30%, maybe as much as 50. But like, it was like a well mixed group of people. However, still a lot of white people. I just still haven't been around a lot of people or a lot of white people, like sharing ideology. And I was like, oh, okay. All right. At least I feel like everybody in here is like distressed by what's going on.
Yeah.
And believes that people shouldn't be yanked away from their families. And, ad infinitum, all the things that should just be part and parcel of the human experience on Earth and somehow are now apparently fucking up for debate. I mean, right. Yeah. So it was really lovely. And like, the way we were all together, like during a hushed part of a sermon, when Josh would go into, the more serious parts, right, where he's just like delivering the news.
Right.
And like, you could have heard a pin drop, or you could like hear people nodding along with him, or like, I mean, it was a little bit like being at church.
Sure.
It was and then the way he would just like turn it around beautifully, flawless. I mean, he's because I've never really thought of athletic excellence. I never thought I would think about it in this way, but he really feels like a comedy athlete.
Oh, I completely
Right?
agree.
You know what I mean?
I completely agree. It takes so much confidence, not in yourself, but in the audience.
Mm-hmm.
But you have to get to a certain level. Like, you can't just walk into any room of whoever and assume that everyone's going to be able to be quiet for that long. Like, you have to do the clown dance before you can get to this other spot.
Yes.
But yeah, the fact that he is willing to trust the audience, to trust him, to have those long quiet moments, that the payoff is all the better when he flips it around and hits the punchline. It's just, God, it's so good.
It's like watching a figure skater.
Yes. Have you heard his interview with Mike Birbiglia?
No.
I'm working it out. Yeah.
No.
I'm pretty sure it was him.
Is that Mike's podcast?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was that, and not the good one, but the Vulture guy. But on one of them, no, it was him. It was definitely Mike Birbiglia. But he was like, I want to be known as one of the best comedians of our time. He was like, that's what I want. That's what I want. That's why I work so hard. That's why I do things the way I do. That's why I put out so much content. I want to be known as one of the greats, and I'm not ashamed to say it. And I was like, yes,
own it. Like, it's obvious, it's clear. I also love how he's really breaking the paradigm, because I didn't realize this, but apparently, like, the unspoken rule has been like, if you're a comedian, don't put your stuff up on YouTube. Like, save your shit.
You're not supposed to. Yeah. But the way that he is able to do it is because so much of his stuff is topical. So, like, I assume that anytime he is touring, he has a chunk that he's working on, building up towards putting chunks together for a special.
But I do wonder, Lillian, because the stuff that keeps coming out on the YouTube channel is like him on this Flowers tour. That's what's crazy.
So what I'm saying is, I think that at 20 minutes to half an hour, he's saving for new stuff.
Oh.
And then the other remaining time is stuff that he's working on over and over to eventually link together.
So like half the show is his stock, and half of it is all but improvised. Yes. Let's say.
Because I think that he does understand the value of trying out the same material in different places without, and if the second you give something away for free, you can't sell it. You know what I mean? That's the problem. That's literally the problem. That's why you see so much crowd work, because it's all spontaneous. And even though you might be able to make the same joke on another person who's like, I don't know, a steel worker, you might be able to use the same joke again in another setting, but you're not going to try to shoehorn that into a special that you're selling or have been paid to do.
Right.
I nerd out about this shit so hard, and I still just don't want to do it.
Yep.
Every time I go see live comedy, I'm like, I would be so good at this, but it is, again, everything else about it is so annoying. Like, burlesque is not about being sparkly and feeling good about yourself and entertaining people. It is about dragging your shit to a place, putting on your makeup before you get there because you don't know what the lighting's going to be like, setting up in an office that you find out later had cameras in it. To change, or a place with giant puddles, or you can only like go down there to change, but you can't go back and forth, so you have to walk all the way back up the stairs and then stand in your heels until the show starts, which is 45 minutes after it said it was going to start. That's what burlesque is.
And then selling that glamour
damn it.
Effortlessly a half an hour later, when people are like imagining you in your fucking penthouse suite surrounded by a mirror with light bulbs and
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. My contacts have dried up and stuck to my eyes. I would love to drink some water, but there's like no straws in New York City anymore. Mm-hmm. So then my lipstick all wipes off, but I can't go fix it.
Oh, shit. Damn. That's a book, you know.
I mean, I have thought about combining my life as burlesque and contrasting it with my life growing up hoarding.
Uh-huh. I was just thinking that would be a really beautiful little pair, a little duet.
Or even, yeah, like, yeah, whether that's a solo show or a book or what have you. I do think about it.
And community-wise, like even a zine, let's say, even something low stakes as a zine, where like everyone you love submitted an essay pretty much about like the dirty grit.
Oh, that's fun.
Wouldn't that be fun?
It would be fun. And also it would be 10 different opinions about how it should be published, and 10 different people who are not happy with how much they're getting paid for it, no matter how much they're getting paid for it. I can't just think of anything as art for art's sake anymore, because there's any collaboration comes with these like high stakes angles that just the people. Okay. Did you watch the Pee-wee documentary?
No, not yet.
It is incredible. I highly recommend it. It is beautiful. The first one is not as heartbreaking as the second one. It's mostly just about like how Pee-wee's Playhouse came into being, and all of the work that him and these, I think they were at Groundlings, I think is where it came out of.
Like him and Phil Hartman.
Yeah. And apparently Pee-wee was, or, you know, Paul was very similar to how I'm thinking now, where it's like, well, great that we've made this fun thing, but like who's actually in charge and where are we going with it? And so he, you know, people complain that he kind of like sidelined them or fucked them over a little bit. But here's, you know, Phil Hartman's like, I don't get the credit that I should have gotten for Pee-wee's Playhouse. Meanwhile, he is on Saturday Night Live.
Yes.
And like, why are you making a big deal out of this? Maybe that wasn't great, but you are fine. You're fine. But it was people, you know, they didn't have much of a budget. They had a space, which we can't take for granted. There's a theater. There's a theater that you can be in, and as long as, I know how this works, if you know somebody who has a key and they're willing to stay late with you,
that's right,
and you buy them some beer or
you
pizza
got a show,
or whatever,
baby.
Right? Then you can have people staying until 3 o'clock in the morning where nobody's getting fucking paid, and you can make this elaborate set, and you can all come together and do this thing, and then split the tickets if that's what you're even doing, because improv doesn't. Nobody gets paid for that shit. Versus everything else that I have ever done. Like, there's no world where this happens, or if it is, it's not air conditioned. Like, the one place that I can think of that works like that on sweat equity is WOW, and I love them, but their climate control is very bad.
Maybe something that was more tolerable 25 years ago. Crazy.
There's still art to be made, and I don't mean to sound so negative, but like,
no,
and everyone
here.
deserves to be paid.
Yes. Yes.
But also, you can't get to a point where you can make the money until you have a foundation of something, and you have, you know, people, a small collab of people who trust each other. And
you know, and as we talk about activism too, and like this same rule of like, the community is important and doing things together and making them together is important. I have these same moments where I'm like, gosh, it would be nice to make these with people. But then not only comes the dissent, but I want to do it at a certain threshold. I want to make sure people are paid. I want to make sure that they're in a safe space where they're not going to get hurt or heat exhaustion or 10 other things. Yep. I don't want roaches crawling all over them. I don't want all these other things that I feel like because we're in this labor moment right now,
right,
where we're really trying to ask for a lot of dignity and a lot of resources that systemically are being hoarded and not given to workers. But as individuals, because they're not being given to workers, we are too poor to give them ourselves.
Yep.
So then you're in this place of like, well, I guess I'll just make it myself and not take advantage of anyone and not put anyone out.
Yep.
Which is even more important than the like, it's not gonna be all the way that somebody wants it, and there's gonna be like bickery stuff. I mean, it just kind of feels a little bit impossible. Every time I'm like, oh, this would be a fun short film. It's like, yeah, but who's going to just come together and do it for free? Because we're not in a place right now where doing it for free feels possible. Right. There's just not enough resourced people around to make the free thing worth it.
Right.
Not worth it. To make it work.
To make it work.
To make it work, yeah. Right? Like, how many people have those keys at this point? Because the places keep shutting down.
Exactly.
Right? Yeah.
Exactly.
How many people own the camera or have the lighting rig or, I mean, just like all of this stuff.
We can never go back to, I have a barn, I have some costumes.
Yeah. Yes. And that is like kind of the fucking problem because now we're like, ooh, this idea of just doing it in your community is really good. But as we look back over our shoulder, we don't have the resources that were kind of part and parcel of that working 20 years ago, 25, and even more beyond that. Right. It feels like space is the most important element of it, but then resources, like, can you fucking imagine? And every time a fucking commune starts to do it, you're like, well, that's going to become a sex cult in 4 days, and it does. And it gets busted.
3, 2, 1.
Yeah.
Speaking of are you a cult, we are signed up for a Gaia one day choir coming up with one of the songs from Dear Evan Hansen.
Nice.
So I'm very excited. It's going to be Dawn's first. It is a masked event. Oh my God,
he's going to love it.
Which is fascinating.
Yes.
And singing is like the worst thing you can do to spit in somebody's health. And it is also arguably one of the worst things you can do with a mask on. But I am happy to participate in masking for this kind of a thing. So
beautiful. Is it going to be at that same warehouse in Brooklyn? Same
no,
location,
I don't know where it is, but it's not there, which is I think why they're asking for the masks, because it's not a very open area kind of place.
Oh, nice. Okay. Oh, I'm so excited. I cannot wait to hear about that.
Yeah, I'm really
Is that this upcoming weekend?
I think it's 2 Wednesdays from now, maybe 2 Thursdays.
Nice.
Yeah.
Ooh, very exciting.
This is Non-Binary Awareness Week.
And we just lost the incredible... They wouldn't want us to say we just lost them. They just won. They passed into another realm as a winner from, I think, ovarian cancer.
I think that's right.
Andrea Gibson, who was the non-binary slam poet and poet laureate of Colorado for the last couple of years. And they've always been a beautifully vulnerable, wildly humane, gorgeous poet. But ever since their diagnosis a few years ago, their work has been such a gorgeous dance with mortality.
Yeah.
And with what the afterlife might feel like what restoration to nature and to the world it's so beautiful. Their work was so beautiful, and their meditations, their conversations on death and dying, and but allowing it to be living life all the more fully were incredible.
Yeah. If you're feeling like you have, if you have it in you to have a sad, there's a performer named Mary Lambert. Her Instagram is Mary Lambert Sing. And she recently posted a collab that she did with that poet about the Pulse nightclub shooting. I watched like a minute of it, and I was like, not now. I'm gonna come back to it. It is heart-wrenching and beautiful, and I I am so excited that they knew each other because I didn't know that, and I love that they made art together.
Oh.
But oh my god. Yeah,
I fucking bet.
just like really, really beautiful. And I need to think about that kind of thing whenever I'm like, creating things with people is annoying is hard. I mean, everything's kind of annoying and hard, and it's not going to get much better. And am I going to not create the art?
I will say that in one of their reflections about making Andrea and their partner Megan had a documentary made about their lives in this moment called See Me in the Good Light, I believe. It's coming out on Apple Plus this fall, and I'm going to watch it and just, I mean, think about like the Suleika Johad and John Baptiste documentary, similarly, just about these two artists, because Megan is also a poet, holding each other in this moment and being so present in the joy in this moment. And in making it, I think Glennon Doyle and Abby Wambach might have been producers or co-creators. Tig Notaro and Stephanie and Stephanie Allen, I think is her last name, also helped make it. And Andrea wrote this beautiful post about when it went to Sundance and was like, I've been a solo maker my whole life, and I just can't believe how easy and joyful it was to make something in a collective with a team.
Yeah.
And that everybody brought their magic and their sparkle to it, and we could all rely on each other and lean on each other. And it was just so easy, other than like sitting in my life and saying my words as a poet. And like, yeah, that's really the both and of making something communal.
Delightful.
Yeah. Their work is so beautiful, and they have so many poem videos of performing, speaking their poetry on their socials. Andrea Gibson. Megan Falley is also an incredible, beautiful poet. Their love is so beautiful. And it's hard to say that we lost someone. We just have been so lucky to live our lives in their presence and to feel more human because of them.
Yeah, time was up. But the thing that I read said that when they expired, they were surrounded by like their animals, their partner, and 4 ex-girlfriends, and I was like, that's amazing.
The gayest possible way to go. Yes.
Yay. Well, fuck buddies, I hope that you're hanging in there. Please keep making the art. Don't listen to me. I'm not, I know my tolerance level, and I just need to find ways to operate within that tolerance level.
To come full circle, Lillian, you just saw something new and learned something. Look at me. It's a fucking spectrum. How beautiful is this fucking life, huh?
Hey. Oh, it's so beautiful.
What are you gonna do?
Hey, what are you gonna do? Oh, I love you, Jen.
I love you too, my darling. You the best.
Yay. I hope everyone else has a lovely week.
We love you, fuck buddies.
Bye.
Bye-bye.